Hey guys, Heidi Easley here, and I teach women how to make money teaching paint parties. My husband's on the other side now. We have basically, I feel like we're on an episode of Hoarders. We have literally packed ourselves into places in this art studio where we can barely move. Does anybody else have that happening in their art studio space, or even in your, if you're doing this on your dining room kitchen? I know for a long time I had all of my art stuff on my kitchen table. So go ahead and let me know as you come on if you were doing this paint party craziness on your dining room kitchen, or do you have a dedicated space? And if you do have a dedicated space, are you basically doing what we're doing? We're almost like hoarders right now with the fact that I've encompassed so much on this side. I'm about to go crazy, and Pixie is doing kits over here on the floor, and then Bobby's over there and he's getting stuff ready for the kits with vinyl. So it's like a full-on Santa's workshop here in the Easley household. So
Santa's coming!
Oh, Bobby's here. Can you hear him? Okay, so I wanted to take a minute. I'm going to show you, like, I'm working on a painting for, oh yeah, we have Lana. She's dining room, kitchen table. Yes, dining room table. Oh, it's good to see you too, Deanna. So I'm going to talk real quick about hope. Now, this is a painting I'm working on for Paint Party Headquarters. You know who you are. I'm working on a design, and so a lot of times I'll work on a design and I'll get it all spruced up before I give you, Paint Party Headquarters the stuff for it. So anybody, if you're interested in learning more about what I do, what I teach you, you can go ahead and get on, just get notified. And I pinned to the top of this, the comments, and I'll put it in the link later. But you can get a free gift, and then you'll be able to be notified when I go live, when fun things like that are happening. Hey, Minetta. But what I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about is hope. Okay, so I'm doing this pumpkin painting. I'm about to add some fun stuff to it. And actually, where did my Michaels? Hold on, let me grab my Michaels bag. Okay, so I went to Michael's this afternoon, and I'm trying something kind of fun with some animal print. So I'm actually going to look at doing a, almost like maybe some words in it or something like that. Alita, that's a pretty name. Oh, thank you, Ann. Yeah, my birthday is coming up. Oh my gosh, my birthday's tomorrow. So I wanted to do some animal print as well. So I'm going to kind of incorporate this as well. But I wanted to talk to you about three things, because I know right now it can seem kind of like there's no hope. How many of y'all out there kind of have that feeling of there's no hope? Anybody? Like, you wake up, you watch the news, you start to go about your day, and then you're like, why do I even try, right? Well, I wanted to talk to y'all really quick and give you 3 tips for having hope, and then also sharing here on me doing this painting. So I'm going to talk to you about hope, as well as do a little bit of creating with you, if that's okay with y'all. Sound good? And thank y'all for being here. It's awesome to see all of y'all on here. Okay, so I'm going with Hope Heals. Let me see if I can get... And I'm using a wax-free transfer paper sampler. Wax-free transfer paper sampler. So I'm going to put something on there. Yeah, Tony, I agree with you. I have not been watching the news lately. So I want to tell you 3 tips. Okay, so number 1, I want you to know that it is okay to be sad. So a lot of times, especially in today's society, we're always taught like, only think about what you're grateful for. Like, yes, we want to be grateful and we want to thank God for those blessings, of course. But, sometimes we're just sad. Like, sometimes things happen, sometimes things change, and it's okay to be sad. So that's number 1. So I wanted to talk to you about, and those of y'all that are just jumping on, we're doing a Hope Heals pumpkin. And I'm just going over this, and we have basically the Santa's Easley workshop happening in this art studio. with Bobby getting cutting stuff ready and Pixie's getting kit stuff ready to ship out a bunch of surfboards. But yeah, so I wanted to say, number one, it's okay to be sad. Number two, I wanted to share with you, you need to think of a way to regroup. So how many of y'all, you know, yes, maybe a studio closed down. Maybe you're, you know, thinking about teaching your paint parties online. Like, how many of y'all have had to pivot and start teaching your paint parties online? And maybe some of y'all have had to start doing kits where you would have never started doing kits. You know, we do a lot of virtual paint parties now and kits, which we were doing before, but now we've increased that. But I want you to know, like, you know, it's okay to be sad that there's a different way to do things. But what I want you also to know is that you need to regroup. So let me know in here how you can regroup, okay? Because, you know, when all of this started, when COVID started back in March, I mean, there were so many things that people had to go, okay, wait, that party got canceled. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? I need to do something different, right? So what do you do to regroup? You know, me, myself, I love, I know it's not the best thing to do, but I love laying out in the sun with an Us Weekly magazine because somebody's got to keep up with Brad Pitt, right? Am I right? Love you, honey. But somebody's got to keep up with Brad Pitt. We got to know what he's doing. We got to know, is he...
I do look just like him. I mean,
yeah, my husband looks a lot like Brad Pitt, so it's okay.
it's my doppelganger.
Yeah, it's Bobby's doppelganger. So somebody's got to keep up with Brad Pitt. So one of my favorite things to do is sit out in the sun and, you know, read a magazine, Us Weekly. You know, I know it's, you know, a trash magazine. I know it's not true, everything that's in there. But you got to find something that just gets your mind off of things, okay? So that's one of my big things to do is just sit out in the sun, read an Us Weekly, not watching the news. You know, all of those things we have to protect. We have to protect our soul. So you got to figure out how are you going to pivot? And then you got to figure out, you know, what can you do that's going to protect your soul? What's going to give you that just, you know, that moment to breathe and not constantly think about everything that's going on, right? If you wake up and you're drinking your coffee while you're reading the news, you know, while you're reading the news or watching the news, and you wonder why you can't get the energy to get anything going that day, look at how you're starting your day, okay? So whether that's going, you know, journaling or reading your Bible or, you know, we do the Jesus Calling. I love the kids' Jesus Calling. So like reading the Jesus Calling, whatever that looks like for you, you need to find that and then stick to that routine. But if you wake up and you immediately turn on the news and then you're like, why am I stuck in this rut? Why do I have this feeling that it's never going to get better? Well, news is based on, they want us to be in fear, you know? And I know, yes, it's scary times. I get that. But if you know who's ultimately in control, you can have that peace knowing God knows how this all ends. You know, we just have to go, what are we supposed to do today? And that leads me to my third point. Okay, my third point, and I want to share with y'all, is you've got to dust yourself off and get back up again. So, yeah, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to regroup, but then you got to get your butt back up and go after it again every single day. If we just sit in it, that's where the enemy loves. He loves us to be divided. He loves us to not have a purpose. He wants that so bad. And so, I don't know about you, but I don't care how bad the day is. I'm going to get back up the next day and try again. So I want y'all to hear me whenever nobody is immune from what's going on. Not one person in the entire world. Like, nobody is immune. But you've got to think about, you know, whether it's painting, whether it's journaling, whether it's reading your Bible, whether it's taking walks in nature, whatever it is, you have got to find something that is going to give you hope. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. You've got to find something that's going to give you hope. And I say this with all of the love in my heart because, again, you know, I battle with this too. You know, we have things that we think are going to happen in our life, and then they get canceled, or something changes, or a paint party gets canceled. You know, one of my members, she had a party of 50 for a huge family reunion. You know, that sucks. That's like, sometimes that's a whole monthly income, you know, for a paint party. If you have 50 people, that could be the amount for a monthly income. Now, this person could totally just, you know, wipe her hands of it, think that life is over and she's never going to have paint parties again. Or she can start getting creative and think, how could I still do this? Could I still do this virtually? Could I still do this through art kits, through, you know, sending something to them? How can I pivot to still bring income to my family? How can I pivot to still bring art to these people? It's not like COVID happened and now nobody wants to paint. No, I don't know about y'all, but there's places where people can't get paint because so many people want to use art as therapy. Right? I know I've used art as therapy way more times than 100. You know, that's usually where one of my go-tos as well. If I'm not catching up on Brad Pitt, I'm painting or painting a wall or painting a floor or thinking about something to paint or drawing a design for something to paint, right? Like, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, because this is what's happening, the world has lost their desire to create. No. God has made us that way. So I just wanted to get on here and just share just a little bit about, you know, I know a lot of people out there are struggling, but you've got to notice that it's okay to be sad. You've got to notice that it's okay to regroup. And then thirdly, you've got to get up every single day and start again. No matter how bad it seems like it was the day before. And for those of y'all that are listening that are doing paint parties or doing art kits or doing, you know, an entrepreneurial, you know, you've got this, like I've said it 100 times, probably more than that. You know, entrepreneurship is not for the weak, you know. It takes time. It takes time to build. And right now, with what's going on, now more than ever, you need to be thinking about a way that you can share. Thinking about a way that you know, whether it's you doing a Facebook Live. I feel like so much, you know, people need to see you. You know, they need to see that you're creating. And whatever your passion is, you know, I truly believe God has told me I'm supposed to share God's love through art. Like, I truly, in my soul, feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And I can't let everything that's happening stop what I know I'm supposed to do. So I just wanted to really share that with y'all, and hopefully some of y'all that have been struggling, or you maybe have had that feeling of just, I know a lot of people that I talk to have that feeling of just almost like they're paralyzed. Like they're so scared, they don't even know what to do. They don't even know how to take action. They're so scared that they're not even sure what to do next. And I just want to give you that permission that it's okay. Like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be sad. But then you gotta regroup and you gotta keep moving. You gotta move forward. Whatever situation you're going through, you gotta move forward. If not, you're just gonna stay stuck. And I know you don't want that for yourself, and I don't want that for you. So I'm just working on this little painting, those of y'all that are just joining me. And I wanted to ask a question really quick. So I was thinking of adding leopard onto this painting. Now, should I or should I not add leopard print onto the pumpkin? I need a vote, okay? So y'all let me know. Should I or should I not add leopard to this pumpkin? Can y'all let me know with a big yes or a big no? Let me see. Am I too close to the camera? Hold on, I think there's a delay. So here's one of the leopards that I really like, that I thought would be really cool because I have gold. Yes, yes. My mom says no. Leopard goes with everything, Teresa says. Where did you get that paper? I got this from Michael's. Michael's. They have like the plaid paper. Okay, we got Diane says yes. Helen says, oh, where'd you get that paper? Diane, Lisa says no. Aletha says yes. Wanda says yes. Fun leopard print. Where are you putting it? So I'm thinking of putting this on the scarf of the pumpkin. Or I could put it on the pumpkin. What do y'all think? Scarf or pumpkin? I don't know which one. Which one do you think, Pix? Leopard on the scarf or leopard on the pumpkin? Pixie's not a leopard person.
No leopard,
She's not a leopard person.
If you were gonna do something, a scarf.
A scarf? Let's see. Do y'all think a scarf or do y'all think? We have a lot of yeses. I know there's a delay, so I'm gonna wait a minute to see what y'all think.
Do we have a magenta?
A magenta. It's like a darker pink, so yeah, probably in the middle. You could do
Magenta's like a purple.
yeah, it's
Fuchsia
like a
is the pink.
scarf. Jackie says no. Jennifer says pumpkin. Hey, Shelly. Tony says scarf. Won't know till you try. Go for it. On the scarf, Jody says. Scarf would look awesome. Okay, I'm going to try the scarf. I'm going to try to do this, which I could cut it out, but I think I want to try to just look at it and paint it. So it is because there's a lot of different shades of leopard. So I'm gonna point this down just a tad so y'all can see what I'm doing. Sound good? Okay. All right, and if y'all have anybody that y'all think might need to hear this message, just, let him know, or you can put their name in. I think it should let him know if you think there's somebody out there that maybe's been kind of struggling, needs some art therapy. And then all of y'all that are watching in Paint Party Headquarters, don't worry, I'm gonna really get this all together, and then I'm gonna film a tutorial and have the tracers for you as well. Along with the witch. We have the witch painting, and then I have another idea for a painting that I'm working on that I'm hopeful to have done by Friday, and then we'll release it into Paint Party Headquarters in the coming couple of months. Okay, so I'm just adding some brown to this, and then I'm just gonna tell y'all straight up, I have never painted leopard before. Oh, good, Tammy. I hope this message helps some of y'all. I know sometimes, people who are watching are like, oh, girl, just shut up and paint. Stop talking. But I really think sometimes we need to, know it's okay, to have times when we feel like everything's not okay. I think that's human. I think that's, especially as artists. I mean, how many of y'all as an artist, especially if you're the only artist in your family, we feel everything. Sometimes it's hard to be around a lot of people because it's almost like we feel, I don't know what it is about being creative, but we're constantly looking for inspiration and constantly, I don't know if y'all have this or if it's just me and I'm losing my mind, but it's almost like I feel like we feel more. Not that everybody doesn't have feelings, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, do you have that feeling sometimes where it's you can be around a person where somebody, it wouldn't bother them at all, and then you could be around that same person and it would whatever mood they're in, whatever that is, it just, you take it on. You don't mean to, but you just, you take it on, and I think it's the creative person in us. It's like we have those, I don't know, it's like we have those emotions. You know, I always say, like, you know, I'm mostly introvert, but I'm extrovert when I need to be, you know, and most people think, oh, she's just an extrovert, that's just her nature. But I think, you know, as an artist, you know, we're very, like, inward people naturally. You know, we're always, you know, like, I always make the joke, like, you know, I gotta have, you know, like, Bobby and Pixie being here all the time. You know, I'm like, I gotta have time to myself. Like, there's a lot of voices in this head, you know, like, I gotta have time to process and to just, you know, to think and to, you know, we're always constantly just dreaming and imagining stuff, and, you know, it can be overwhelming. And I think sometimes, you know, we forget that that's part of the process of being creative, you know, having that time and knowing that that's okay, you know. But I think so much in society, it's like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Just go with it. You know, there's nothing's wrong. You know, how can you be sad? You know, you have the best everything. Just be grateful. How can, you know, and there's so much of that, right? There's so much of that that we're told, like, just, you know, suck it up. Everything's fine. It's normal, you know, or whatever. And sometimes a girl just needs to be sad, but then sometimes a girl needs to get up over it and then get up and get ready for the next day, you know. So, okay, so I'm gonna add some of this. I'm gonna use the black with a little bit of brown just to have a darker brown. And here's how I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in. Yes, I love my alone time too. Like, I cherish people, but I'm like you. Like, I always make the joke, I'm like, Pixie and Bobby barely get to live here. You know, like, I just make the jokes. I'm like, I love you, Pixie. Because, you know, you definitely need your alone time. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and just kind of blob it on like a leopard print. So it's almost like a C, like a half C. Can y'all see that? Will y'all let me know if that's okay? If not, I can zoom out and just show y'all at the end. But I'm going to add this with some gold. And then if anybody wants to know a little bit more about what we do, you can get a free gift. There's a link in the description, in the pinned comments at the top. I'll also put it in the description. So if you're watching the replay, you can put, you know, replay in here, and then you can also grab the free gift still. And that's going to help you with, you know, teaching paint parties online. So a lot of y'all I know are pivoting your businesses. A lot of y'all might still be able to teach paint parties in person, but maybe for health reasons, you know, you don't feel comfortable, you know, or something like that. Like, you could still pivot. And the coolest part is you just never know what it's going to lead to. You know, like, a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. But then it actually turns into something better than they... Anybody ever have that happen before? Like, you think it's like the end of the world, and then, oh yeah, glitter, Judy, that's a great idea. You know, like, has anybody ever had that where you think it's like a situation that could be like the end of the world, and then you do what you think you're supposed to do, and then it ends up turning out even better than you ever imagined, you know? Has anybody ever had a situation like that? I'm going to use Rich Espresso. I kind of wish I would have started with this. Oh, can y'all see that? Rich Espresso. And then I'm going to start adding in some of the... Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let me see how the gold looks. Oh yeah, I got to go with the gold. Y'all know I love my gold. Oops. Okay, so if you make a big blob. Just kind of, oh, I'm just gonna mix it in there. Ooh, I like it. Turn a mistake into something good. When you make a mistake, now you just turn it into part of the painting. And it actually sometimes turns out, just like we were talking about. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I was just talking about like sometimes when you start something and it turns out different than you think, but could turn out better. This is a perfect example. Real time, y'all, real time. Okay, so I got some black on there, I didn't mean to. Which I might add some black lines in there anyway. But I'm gonna make sure y'all can see this. Okay, so I'm gonna do just blobs. And then because I'm painting this and it's still wet, I am getting some of the other color. So I'm having to wipe it off with the paper towel and then go back in. But that gold, I think that's exactly what it needed, that gold, instead of the espresso. And then you just want to make sure you get all your little pieces so it kind of has a leopard look on the scarf instead of just like, I could have done like a plaid or something like that. That would have been fine. You could do anything like that. Oh yeah, so Susan says, I have an established community art center that wants to do paint parties with summer camp. So I've already taught some classes with them live and recorded. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Susan. Like we've got to go, okay, pick yourself back up, figure out your plan, and then move forward. Like you can't just sit there and, oh, when this is all over, I'll figure it out. No, like, I don't think that's what God wants us to do, honestly. I don't, I mean, I get it if you have a health issue or you're in a position where you really just, but with online now, there are so many opportunities, so many. And a lot of times it's just, my mother-in-law was just telling me about, I think it was one of the country stars, like all of these concerts have been canceled or whatever. And one of the country stars, I think, don't quote me, but I think she said Alan Jackson, maybe somebody else. But anyway, he started renting out drive-ins. And then he played his concert and had everybody come to the drive-in so they could social distance but still be a part of the concert. And then he sold them all out, like literally sold all of the events out. And so here are all these people that are like, oh, there's no events happening until 2021, blah, blah, blah. And then here comes, a country star who's like, nope, I'm just going to get creative. I'm going to figure out a way to do it. In today's technology, there's so many opportunities for things like that. And I just thought, like, how creative was him and his team, whoever thought of that, to take drive-ins around the country. And people that were going to these were so happy, like to have something not only to look forward to, but something together. They're able to still be in their cars, still social distance, but be a part of that, And I know a lot of places, or it depends on where you're at, but everybody's a little bit different. So as far as like, how much people are getting out and stuff like that. Okay, so this is just kind of the gist of Hope Heals. So I just want to quickly remind y'all, if you're just jumping on, Hope Heals, I'm talking about 3 things. Number 1, it's okay to be sad. But then number 2, you need to regroup, whether that's like me, you want to sit out in the sun and read Us Weekly so you can find out what's going on with Brad Pitt. And that's how I regroup. I take baths, I go for walks, I paint, I know a lot of y'all are painters out there. And then number 3, you got to dust it off and and get back out there. So no matter what happens, yes, it's okay to be upset. It's okay that your party got canceled. It's okay that this happened, but how can you pivot? How can you regroup? How can you go to bed that night and get up the next morning and continue on? Because here's the deal. A lot of people out there are gonna just lay flat, be done, think it's over. But I'm telling you, if you want to get the free gift in here that talks about, doing paint parties online, please grab it, because here's the deal. A lot of times you think that it's the worst and it's never going to get better, when there may be a way, way better plan for you, more than you ever dreamed, sitting there. But you're too upset and you're sitting in whatever you're sitting in, and it's okay to have that for a few moments, but then the next day I challenge you to get up and find a better way, to get up, pivot. Maybe you're just doing this for a small time or whatever it takes, but I want to give you permission to be upset, but then I want you to regroup, and then thirdly, I want you to get back at it, because there is a better way, there's another way, and I'm here to help support you. All right, guys, so Paint Party Headquarter Girls, I'll be sprucing this up and making a video for you, so you'll have tracers and rights to the designs. So that'll be coming soon. And everybody else, I hope y'all have a great night, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.